Have your technicians in finance analyzed it? Do you know if we're getting value for money? Or is just David Shaw concoct this thing in some bedroom in Hodges Bay? Nonetheless, Madam Speaker, this budget would have us believe there's no need for change because wasting the people's money is the right track and refusing to be accountable is the right direction. So what do we have, Madam Speaker? In opposition, the UPP vowed to close down the Mount St. John Medical Center, the brainchild of the Antigua Labour Party. Lester Bird conceived it. He made it a top priority of his administration shortly after he became Prime Minister in 1994, and he engaged the support of Dr. Joy John, a great surgeon, to champion the project from concept to fruition. And no matter how many tall stories and pro-UPP concoctions that are served up at the pre-election opening next month, that chapter, Madam Speaker, that chapter in our history will not be rewritten. You all are trying to rewrite history, creating new national heroes, trying to rewrite the history of this country. But that Mount St. John Medical Center, Prime Minister John McGinley not getting no credit for that. That is our brainchild over here. That is the vision of Labour over here, not the UPP. So I hope you're going to call Lester Bird and Joy John to be the feature speakers at the opening. At the feature speakers at the opening. When the UPP got into office, the Mount St. John facility was 90% complete. But rather than finish it, Madam Speaker, and operate it for the benefit of the people, the Prime Minister and his team preferred to continue a childish political campaign, bashing the ALP, bashing Alan Stanford for the loan agreement. What they wanted to do, they wanted to sell it off to be used as something other than a hospital. That did not work. Then they wanted to sell to someone to do a private hospital. That too did not work. Then they decided to lease it for the purpose of operating, I think, along the lines of a private hospital for the rich and famous, for the movie stars, for the elites to come down to Antigua. And Halberton and his healthcare horrors will be for the poor and downtrodden people of this country. Madam Speaker, to that end, the Minister, along with some of his supporters who knew nothing about hospitals, decided to spend millions of dollars on refurbishing Halberton. Remember when they first came into government, what they did? Went and spent a ton of money refurbishing Halberton. And we said, why do that? Why waste all that unnecessary money? Went up there with Nick Hadid and all these contractors, and George Ryan and all these people. Why waste all that money and you have a beautiful hospital, 90% complete? Open it. No. Lester Bird and his people do that. Oh, we now open it. He used it partly for World Cup? Yes. But that didn't work neither, Madam Speaker. So now, Madam Speaker, they've come full circle back around, 360 degrees, to the original Antigua Labour Party plan of operating the state-of-the-art facility primarily for the benefit of all Antiguans and Barbudans. We hear that the contract to this American hospital management company, which by the way is a Panamanian offshore company with Colombian interests, Panamanian paper offshore company with Colombian interests, that this contract is worth, yes, Mr. Minister of Finance, don't look like if you're in total disbelief, it is worth over $2 million per month. What is all this money for? Have we begun to pay? How long have we been paying? What specific healthcare arrangement is it financing for the people of Antigua and Barbuda, Madam Speaker? Will we have competent medical and management professionals to ensure that the horrors of Halberton Hospital are not merely given a new state-of-the-art home at any cost? Why did the Minister of Health, Madam Speaker, give his campaign manager in rural North, who happens to be my first cousin, a big, fat, ludicrous contract for the supply of all the compute equipment and software to the hospital, to the new hospital, behind the back of the tenders board? Do you know that? Do you know the value of that contract? Do you know the value of that contract?
No, how much?
Let them go and find out. It's over $2 million. Without tender. His campaign manager, my cousin, a shovel. How much more of this UPP cronyism can we expect on the backs of the same Mount St. John Hospital that has been elevated all of a sudden to some miraculously formed favorite UPP political football? That's what it was. A UPP political football, a white elephant, corruption, buy from Michael's family. It will never open. And now it is the greatest UPP election card. It is the ace in the Prime Minister's pack. Can you imagine that? They tore us down. Where are we going with that? How are we going to pay for it? Who's going to go up there? How are Antiguans going to afford it? Joy John is crazy! And now, it's the only big project that you can open before your election. It's your trump card. But I want to tell you, we'll be there for the opening. Yeah, we'll be there. Lester Bird and all of us will be there.
Whole crew.
Are we going to talk? We're going to talk. Because just like how you and Timett and John McGinley was all in our cars with the placards when we were driving, booing us for the opening, and were disruptive. We'll be there. And we'll take credit. We will take credit. Because you're not going to fool the people of this country again. Joey John and Lester Bird have to speak. So, Madam Speaker, as they fiddled, consumed by their obsession with demonizing and dehumanizing the leadership of the ALP, Halberton Hospital became the graveyard of the UPP's healthcare neglect and incompetence. Madam Speaker, Edward Cope, a tourist, went into Halberton Hospital earlier this year, vomiting blood. They did nothing for him. No endoscopy was done. No blood was given. He bled to death. Jean Peters, a local patient, went into Halberton Hospital and was also allowed to bleed to death. No workup, no treatment, no blood given. Eustace Potter admitted this year as well. He too bled to death without treatment. Terry Bell came into Halberton with a gunshot wound to his thigh, and he was allowed to bleed to death over 2 days without treatment. Kemi Farrell sustained a stab wound to the abdomen late last year. He walked into casualty by himself, and he was totally ignored for hours until he collapsed and died. Ralston Joseph was involved in a motor vehicle accident, and he went to Halberton complaining of abdominal pain. He died on the operating table after an